Today, we're going to talk about Carny. Carny is part of the Man-Eater series. Now, the Man-Eater series, to my knowledge, was a series of Sci-Fi Channel films, as in, these films were released and shown on the Sci-Fi Channel, which would be to say that their production value isn't necessarily the best, but they might be a little bit better than, say, a completely independent feature. If you looked at the independent features such as Blue Call, Sleepy Hollow, High, those types of films are pure independent productions that don't necessarily have much of a budget. However, Carny has something of a budget. They're using decent enough cameras, the filmingness, the resolution of the film, or whatever they used to capture all of the footage, doesn't necessarily look terrible. It actually looks pretty good. The lighting looks good, day and night cycles. It has Lou Diamond Phillips. It's got a lot of decent stuff about this film. The only thing that kind of falls short is the actual creature. Now, the Man-Eater series was a series of films detailing a certain monster in each film. And I actually ended up reviewing one of those films earlier in the Dollar Bin series, and it was called Eye of the Beast, if I remember correctly. Eye of the Beast featured a big kraken-type creature squid monster that was basically a rehash of the Jaws story, but with the giant kraken squid thing. Carny is not a rehash of Jaws, but it's in that same line of films, the Man-Eater series. There's one about a giant crocodile, there's one about a giant tiger or something, there's one about all sorts of other creatures out there. It's basically monster movies with little actual big animals or monsters besides. This one just happens to deal with a creature called the Jersey Devil, also known as Leeds Devil. The Jersey Devil is a sort of Jersey folklore creature. I'm not necessarily sure of the origin of this creature, but it is a winged bipedal monster thing that has a goat-like head, horns. It looks like basically a devilish creature. I am not sure who created such a thing, but it's been around for over 100 years now, so take that how you will. The origin of the legend, I wonder, probably just exists back in colonial times. A colonial horror story, the New World. We got colonials coming in, doing their colonial thing in the 1700s, and the rest is history. That is your Jersey Devil, and this is this film's depiction of the Jersey Devil coming in to be captured by a bunch of carnies to be an attraction, since the carnival manager man is like, we don't got enough money to keep running this carnival, we need a good attraction to bring money in. And he captures this creature with the intent to use it as an attraction, if not to sell it for a lot of money later on afterwards. He's all in it for the money, and his morality is out the door. He is willing to kill to keep this creature in his clutches. Lou Diamond Phillips plays the sheriff of a small town that this carnival has come to visit, and he has to deal with both the manager man of the carnival and him trying to secure rights to to set up his carnivalness, his Ferris wheels and all that crap. And Lou Diamond Phillips is like, alright, I need you to sign these forms so that you can set your crap up here. And then the creature, which comes at the carnival, gets loose and starts killing the locals. And then Lou Diamond Phillips is like, you haven't told me anything, you're gonna help me capture this monster. And then the manager man is like, well, I'm gonna capture him so I can sell him and make all that money. So he starts killing a bunch of locals to attract the Jersey Devil, because the Jersey Devil is attracted to blood. So he has to kill people to get fresh blood. And then the manager man ends up dying to the Jersey Devil. And then there is a pastor man who becomes distraught with grief after the Jersey Devil kills his child. So he's not exactly thinking logically or thinking at all with his actions in this film, and his actions end up having terrible consequences. And he ends up having a karmic restitution for the actions that he took that were not necessarily morally correct. So he ends up dying to the Jersey Devil, and then Lou Diamond Phillips has to make one final standoff against the Jersey Devil, and they both end up killing each other in the end, and then the carnival is destroyed. Some of the Carnies survive, and that basically is how it ends. This film is... it's not... it's the Sci-Fi Channel movie. If you have nothing to watch and you're just sitting there in the evening, it's a middle of the day Wednesday evening, you're bored out of your mind, and there's nothing on TV, you don't have any new movies or new games to play, it's the mid-2000s, you flip to Sci-Fi Channel and Carny is playing, you might as well leave it on that channel because there's nothing else worth watching on. But if there is something else worth watching, you're probably going to want to watch that instead, and you probably would watch that instead, because Carny would not hold your attention as strong as that's something that you probably would want to watch instead. Carny is the thing that you put on just to have on, because there's nothing else on. It's a Sci-Fi Channel flick. It has a Sci-Fi Channel budget. It's slightly above that of an independent film picture. The Jersey Devil is CG animated. It is absolutely terrible. It's almost terrible in a funny way. So if you want to get a bunch of friends together, put in Carny and watch it and laugh at this creature and its horrible animation, you go right ahead, because that is all Carny has going for it. Did I enjoy my time watching Carny? I would say I kind of did. There was some good makeup effects here. So they got a good makeup effects guy on here. I don't know if they put it on the back anywhere. Let's see. We have edited, executive producers, production designer, director of photography, casting director, producer, directed by Sheldon Wilson. So I don't necessarily see the makeup department on here, but the production designer is Zoe Saccaropolo. You know how it is. You probably want to go on the IMDb and find your makeup department person, but it has really good makeup effects, practical makeup effects on the kills. It looks really good, and it might be just worth the price of admission just to watch those kills and see the good makeup effects and the skill of whoever did that. And because I'm so curious, I'm gonna go look that up right now. Holy crap, there was a name I recognized in the makeup department. A man by the name of Adrian Moreau. Adrian Moreau is part of the makeup department / special effects crew, and he has also worked on The Whale, Barney's version, X-Men Days of Future Past, Martyrs. He has been in the makeup department for tons and tons of films. I think he was also, let me take a look here. Let's see, the recent thing he worked on was Scream 6, he worked on The Pale Blue Eye, Megan, he worked on that, he worked on Unhinged, he did special makeup effects on the movie Crawl, on the X-Men movie Dark Phoenix, he was special effect makeup designer on The Lighthouse, the remake of Pet Sematary. He also worked on the Jack Ryan movie, he worked on Slender Man, he worked on Truth or Dare, he worked on Cult of Chucky. This guy is all over the place. No wonder the makeup effects looked amazing in this movie, because they had a legend working on this thing. Definitely, alright, because it's Adrian Moreau working on this thing. Definitely give Carny a look. Look at those kills. Look at the special effects and the gore designs and all the slashed necks, and take a look at that skill that went into a Sci-Fi Channel movie. Oh man, Carny was a treat for that, for the special effects. If anything, the CG effect may not necessarily be good. They didn't have a budget for that, because all the budget went into the excellent kills. So definitely give Carny a look if you're interested in that type of thing. If you're interested in special effects and practical effects, if you're interested in that type of thing, excuse me, if you're interested in that type of stuff, then Carny might be something you might want to take a look at. But if you have no interest in that type of thing, if set designs and kills and the gore effects and the stab wounds and all this, if you aren't interested in special effects and how the makeup department and all those other guys bring that level of believability onto if you're not interested in how they bring that to life onto the screen, then maybe Carny is not for you, because the story is not going to keep your attention. The story has just the basic amount of thing to keep your attention for a Sci-Fi Channel movie, if that makes sense. But for a movie that you go out of your way to watch, it's only going to be something there if you're interested in special effects. If you're into that, definitely take a look, because it's got Adrian Moreau on here. Definitely take a look if you're interested in that. This is Carny.